Hi, I'm Mrs. Spindler, and today we're talking about architecture and design. This is our brand new house. We're so excited to move in over winter break. I thought you'd like a sneak peek. Architects have an idea. Then they communicate the instructions for that idea through words and drawings. Finally, they answer all the questions that come up while the project is being built. So we got our permits, and here we are at the groundbreaking. We're ready to build. Wait a second, how did we get this far? Let's take a look at some of the types of drawings that were created before we could even start digging in the ground. Thumbs up if you recognize this type of drawing. This is a floor plan of Merton Primary School. Take your hand and point to the light switch. Now, without bumping your neighbor, draw a line straight across to the corner, around to the other wall, straight across to the other corner, and all the way back around until you get to the same light switch you started at. Now pretend to lift off the roof where you made your cut and look down inside the room at the floor. Can you see the inside of the walls and the cabinets? You can still see the tables and desks because they're below your cut. But your room doesn't have a ceiling anymore for this kind of drawing. Okay, hands down. If I tell you the picture of the thumb is at the main entrance of the building, thumbs up if you found the 5K bathrooms. Thumbs up if you found the 4 5K classrooms. Thumbs up if you spot the gym, the cafeteria, the library, the music room, the art room, or the front office. A floor plan shows how spaces connect, how big or small the spaces are, and what activities go next to each other. Believe it or not, this isn't actually the first drawing an architect might make. Let's take a look at architect Barry Burkis's design process and how he uses sketching and what's called a bubble diagram to figure out his ideas. See his tools? He just put down another piece of trace paper so he can make sketches on top of his other sketches, and markers that make big fat lines and other ones that make skinny lines. He doesn't get it done on the first try. He has to go back and add more details and make changes to his ideas until he comes up with something that will work. Here's what he says about this drawing of a house.
All houses that we work on become diagrams that are bubbles, then start to become harder lines, and the forms start to come together. And it's an exercise in thinking with the hand and the mind that will go from just a little bit more detail than this to the computer, where it really becomes an organized piece put together by the designers that are working with me on the house. So it all begins as a pattern and a diagram. The idea of where things are and how they interrelate, adjacencies and the opportunities of the sun in the afternoon, the sun in the morning, the views to the water, and the idea that the bridge puts together the guest and the master, looking down into the wonderful views of the house. The people that have this house are wonderful clients, and it's a house that we are very, very proud of as architects. And that, I think, is the greatest reward an architect can have, is a happy client, a great building, and a place that they want to go back and visit because of the meaning of the piece that they've designed and the strength of the architecture.
Now that you know what a floor plan is, let's go back to my house and check it out. This is part of the drawing set. It's a big roll of drawings and words that tell the workers all the instructions to build the house. Here's the first floor plan closer up. Thumbs up if you can find the bathroom here. The drawing has measurements and directions. Did you find it? How about the stairs? Thumbs up for the stairs. And what about the kitchen? Can you spot the sink and the countertops from the little pictures on the drawing? Here's the kitchen again, but this time it shows where all the light fixtures and all the switches and all the outlets need to go. See that blue exterior wall, outside wall? Let's take a look at a section cut of that wall. So take your hand and point it at the light switch again. This time, without bumping your neighbor, run your hand all the way up to the ceiling and all the way back down to the floor. You just made a section cut of the classroom wall. And here is the section cut of the house. You can see everything from the roof, and then those breaks are where you could have windows or doors, and then all the way down to the basement and the footings that help support the foundation walls. This is just another section cut through, you're right, the stairway. You can see how to get from the basement up to the first floor and all the way up to the second floor. After most of the drawings are done, we have to pick all the finishes and fixtures. This means carpets, wood floor, tile, linoleum, countertops, sinks, light fixtures, all those things. Now when all of that is picked out and the village says you're ready to go, finally the excavator can come and dig the basement. So put on your hard hat and your boots. The concrete truck comes and pours the footings at the bottom of the hole. The insulation goes on, and then the workers put up formwork, or you might call them molds, so they can pour more concrete for the basement walls. The lumber is delivered to the site, and soon the carpenters can start framing the walls and the roof. Here's what the inside looks like so far. Can you tell where any of the rooms will be yet? This is the top of the stairs before they put up the walls to the second story. These are the big joists that the floor is made out of. Do you see the end is shaped like the letter I? This is starting to look a little more like a family room, but can you tell this is the kitchen? From the outside, you see the wood has building wrap on it to help keep out the moisture. That tall wall sticking up is for the stairway. They've done a lot of work so far. These are called roof trusses. They are part of the structure of the house that holds the roof up. It's important that they are strong against the wind and the heavy snow that falls. Looks like the roof sheathing is on. The wood boards is what the shingles get secured to make the roof. See the big dumpster? And the black fence, that's what helps keep the dirt in our yard instead of washing away when it rains. We're back in the family room again. Now the fireplace framing has been started. The second story is on already, and you're standing in the playroom looking out at the top of the stairs and into the next bedroom. Soon you won't be able to see the stud walls anymore. It's hard to picture each room in your head when you can walk straight through the whole house. The plumbers and electricians are starting their work now, and the framers are finished. All the pipes for water and the wires for electricity need to fit inside the walls. While they're working inside, the roofers can be on the outside, and the windows and the doors can go in. The construction manager has to schedule each of the workers and keep track of who has done their job and who needs to come back later and do more work. The construction manager writes down all the questions the worker has, and if he doesn't know the answer, he has to ask the architect. Then they can work together to figure out the answer. The architect visits the site to see that everything is being built according to the instructions on the drawings. The architect visits the site to see that everything is being built according to the instructions on the drawings. Here's another view of the family room. See the fireplace on the left side? Now many of the wires and some of the heat ducts are inside the walls. Here's that kitchen wall again. It doesn't look quite like a kitchen yet, but it has the vent for the stove and some of the outlets. Meanwhile, in the basement, they've buried all the pipes with gravel and are ready to pour the concrete basement floor. And the siding guys showed up to do their work outside and put the skin on the building. Time for insulation. Some insulation is for warmth, and some is to control sound. It has to fit around all those pipes and all the ducts and electrical wires. So some of the insulation you see is pink, some is brown, and some is green. Here's where they sprayed the insulation on the outside walls to put the fireplace in the family room. The siding is almost done, so it's time to work on the stone. See all the ladders and scaffolding to help the workers? Once the insides of the walls get inspected, the workers come and put the drywall up. They have to cut holes for all those outlets and lights and work around all the windows and doors. The same kitchen wall is on the right side of this picture. Lots of ducts and vents and pipes are going from the basement to all the rooms of the house. The workers have to make sure there's enough room for everything. The architect helps coordinate the runs and make sure the whole team talks together so that the pipes don't end up hitting each other or try to go in the same spot. Looking pretty good on the outside, and good thing it's starting to get very cold out. The house isn't ready to move in yet, though. Now the carpenters come back and put up all the trim and the doors. The handles and the knobs get installed, and here's the family room corner with that fireplace again. Time to put more tanks and pipes in the ground outside. That bucket on the digger is huge. Don't forget to do some painting and put in the tile. The floors and cabinets are installed, and now it's starting to look more like a kitchen, huh? Everyone has worked very hard. The job isn't quite over yet. The architect has to walk through once everything is cleaned up and do her punch list. She makes a list of all the little things that need to be fixed before the new owners can move in. She checks the ideas that were on the drawings and in the words and makes sure they were all completed and that all the questions about the construction have been answered. But pretty soon this house will be done and everyone will move on to their next project. I hope you've enjoyed seeing this quick house tour and learning about the different types of architectural drawings. Work in your sketchbook for a few minutes to record the 3 things architects do. They have an idea, they make drawings, and they answer all the questions.